So in the last two lessons, we used the ACE CLI twice. First, we used it to serve our dev server, as well as watch our file system for changes. And then in the last lesson, we used it to make a new provider file so that we could walk through what that looked like. It is a lot more than those two commands though. So to start, if we open our terminal back up with Command J, if you had yours closed, and if we enter in node ACE, which we briefly saw in the last lesson, we'll get a list of all of the commands available to the ACE CLI. I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen there as well to give us more working room. Everything in green, and the color will vary depending on the theme you're using inside of your text editor, but everything in green here is an actual command that we can run with the ACE CLI, and then the yellow are different groups of commands. So for example, we have a make group with a bunch of make-based commands inside of them, a migration group with different migration commands inside of them, and so on. Towards the top, we'll begin to recognize a few of these commands. For example, we have our serve command right here. To the right of this command, we have a description of what that command does. So it starts our development HTTP server along with a file watcher to perform restarts on file change. We'll also recognize the configure command that we discussed whenever we mentioned how you can reconfigure Lucid to change your database driver. This isn't specific to Lucid. It instead configures a package, any package built for AdonisJS after it has been installed on our project's dependencies. The list command does exactly what we just did with node ACE, just with a designated command to list out all of these, but it will render out the exact same thing that we have here. And then we also have the test command to run our tests defined within suites inside our test directory, which again, currently we don't have any at this point in time. Right now, we really don't need to know specifics about these commands, but do be sure to read through the full list and their descriptions so that you know exactly what's available to you. What we are focused on right now is knowing how to use the ACE CLI, not necessarily what all it can do, but how to use it. So to get more information on any of the listed commands here, we can suffix --help to that command to view its help info. This can and may include things like arguments, flags, and more for that specific command. For example, we've already run the serve command, so let's start with that. If we dig back down, I'm going to go ahead and clear this out, and we run node ACE serve --help. It's not actually going to execute the serve command, but instead it will print out its help details, which look like this. And you can see that we get a good amount of detail about what's available with this command. So we can see under our options, we have that --HMR that we used whenever we initially ran our server. This signals the serve command to use hot module replacement as it's booting that dev server up, which merely just changes how things are updated as we make and save changes inside of our project files. Alternative to HMR, we can also watch for changes and pull for changes. Both of these have an alias, a shorter version of the option that we can do with a single hyphen and a single character. So for example, -w will run the watch option and -p will run the poll option. In addition to the options, we also get a description of the command, which is similar to what we saw inside of the full command list. And we also have a usage example of the command as well. And then we may or may not have a help section down here providing more information. One thing not shown for this specific command is that we may also have arguments that are expected as well. For example, whenever we ran the configure command, we had to provide in the actual package that we wanted to configure as an argument. So if we take a look at node ACE configure --help and we give that a run, we'll see that this one has an arguments section, noting that it's expecting a name of a package. Within the usage example, whenever we see bracket name as this, that means that the command accepts a single argument. If we were to instead see something like names ... inside of those angled brackets, then the command would be able to accept multiple arguments delimited by a space. The order shown within that usage doesn't really matter. We're able to run this as node ACE configure at AdonisJS lucid --force, for example, putting the options after the name, or we could put the options before the name. So --force there, or exactly delimited as shown within that usage example up above. Any of those three will work just fine. So that's the general sense on how we can use the ACE CLI command line interface. There are a couple of commands that I want to note that may be of special or particular use as you're learning things to help you inspect to see what's going on inside of your project. So first, let's take a look at one called list routes. So let's actually run this command. We won't take a look at the help options. What this does is lists out all of the registered routes inside of our application at this point in time. And as you can see, the starter kit here has given us a few routes for authentication to sign up, log in and log out, as well as one for our home, which is the page that we saw whenever we opened up our server inside of our browser. Inside of this list, we have the method that route accepts. So these are the HTTP verb. So you have get, post, put, patch, and delete available there. Get is typically for rendering pages or getting information. Post is for creating or altering. Put and patch are specifically for altering. And then delete, of course, is for deleting. We'll get more comfortable with those, of course, later on as well. Then we have the pattern of the route. So this is what we would actually enter inside of the URL of our browser, for example. Anything with a get, we'd be able to directly visit inside of our browser when our server is running. Anything with a post, we need to specifically send data up to the server for. So for example, if we're trying to sign up, we need to send information about who we're trying to sign up along with that request. Inside of the parentheses is the name of the route. And then we have what's handling the route over here in blue. This contains the actual logic that will run whenever that route's requested. And then finally, we have middleware. So what's run in between the request being received by our server and the actual handler execution. All of that we'll discuss in greater length in module 2. So no need to know exactly what we're talking about there if you're unfamiliar at this point in time. We can also inspect the adonisrc.ts file and its contents within here as well using the node ACE inspect RC file command. So if we run this, we'll get a good amount printed out here. And this will be a JSON representation of most of what we saw within our adonisrc.ts file. But as you might note, as you're going through this and what's printed out here, we actually see more information here than what is shown to us inside of our adonisrc file directly. For example, if we scroll up to the top, or near the top here, we have this directory section that's not in our physical RC file at all. So for example, if we were to hide our terminal away here with Command J and open up our rc.ts file, up towards the top, we would see this define config. With it, this will also provide some defaults that we would then be able to override with the actual object we're providing into that function. So if we wanted to, we could add directories to this to customize it to our liking. But with it being omitted, we'll just get the defaults from that defined config. So if you want to see the full final contents of our RC file, that is what we get inside of here. We also get the full list of environments that our preloads and providers will run within as well. By the way, that directories object up towards the top of this is used to map scaffolding locations for various files like controllers and models. So for example, whenever we ran that make provider command, we could customize where exactly that command plops the file by changing its directory with this configuration option here. Right now, it's just pointing to providers off of the root of our project, but we could change that to our liking if we wished as well. Okay, let's clear that out because in the next lesson, we will meet environment variables.